What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. You know what day it is, folks. It's Friday, and I love me Fridays. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend is knocking. I can feel the espresso working through my blood and through my veins. We've got another day of chaos ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Service calls, phone calls, and probably at least one thing that's going to make me question humanity before the day even gets started. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, if you've been watching this channel, the Uncensored channel this week, you know a few days ago, I was beyond pissed off with ACiQ. And I wasn't sending them Valentine's Day cards. Let's just leave it at that. But sometimes, just like in marriage, you gotta sit down, have an honest conversation, air your grievances, and figure out how to move forward. Well, folks, marriage therapy worked. Come on, you can't stay mad at your loved one forever. In this video, I'm not going to make it short. It's not going to be like an infomercial because we got some things I want to talk about. We're going to be talking about what happened, what changed, and why I feel a hell of a lot better now than I did a few days ago when a situation with getting deliveries 7 to 9 days instead of 2 to 3 days. All right, we're going to be talking about that and giving credit where credit is due. We've got some other things to discuss, a busy day ahead. So as always, I'm gonna have my espresso. We're gonna tell it to you. I'm gonna tell it to you exactly the way I see it. No filters, no BS, no corporate talking points. Just keeping it real, uncut, unedited, and uncensored. So grab your coffee, buckle up. Let's get Friday started. I love me Fridays. Welcome to Mikey Pipes Uncensored. Cover your kids' ears. This may be graphic. You know, the other day, I had a very, very good conversation with Tyler over at ACiQ. Tyler was the head of brand, and now he's kind of like the CEO. A lot of promotions were handed out at ACiQ. And no, I am not on payroll. But they have extended me gold level pricing for all of my purchases. Even though I don't buy $500,000 a year of ACiQ products to qualify that, and I gotta tell you, the results of that over the last couple of weeks have been phenomenal. You know, in one day, in one 24-hour period, I sold 7 systems. It's incredible. It really, really is. Let me get my other coffee. Hold on one second. Some of you may be asking, Mikey Pipes, what are you drinking? What do you drink in the morning? We know you drink the goose, which I love, the Grey Goose, right? But I also drink in the morning, besides water, and only the best water, filtered water from Simpure. I love it. Reverse osmosis water. You keep it, I keep a few of the glass jars, you know, glass water pitchers in my refrigerator in the kitchen, and also the beverage center and the breakfast bar in my bedroom. You know, my double wide trailer that I live in, right? I wake up, I usually have an espresso, no sugar, right after I walk the dogs, which is about 15 minutes ago. And when I get to the shop, I have another espresso with a little bit of sugar, and then I make myself an iced coffee. So 2 ounces of espresso, 8 ounces of coffee, chilled, it's good stuff. Anyway, back to ACiQ. You know, a few days ago, it was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Monday. Wow, the week flies. Monday, it's 2 o'clock. I reach out to Penny again, Hot Penny. You know, she's my handler at ACiQ, and she does a phenomenal job, by the way. She handles not just my New York arrogant, demanding self that I am, but other influencers as well. But I do like to take credit where credit is due. I am the only ambassador for ACiQ, and it's a good feeling. It really is. It's nice to feel loved by an amazing company that has fulfilled every commitment to me from day one. Whether it's parts availability, whether it's getting my deliveries on time, except this week, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Tech support, which is phenomenal. You know, you go online, if you type in ACiQ complaints, it's funny how all of my YouTube videos pop up, right? And they're not even complaints with the equipment. Listen, there's been a few failures out of like 200 plus systems we installed, right? But honestly, only 2 of them were actual, out of 4, were actually problems with equipment out of the box. One was an evaporator coil leaking on a brand new install on the hottest day of the year last July, when we were doing 2 3-ton system installs on the hottest day of the year. You know, whatever, it is what it is. And the other one was just a few weeks ago, with the indoor blower board, the inverter driver board, dead out of the box, and it was giving an error code, indoor fan speed out of control. The other things were like outside of the ordinary. It was a wiring issue. There was a leak from the roof, things like that. But a few days ago, I spoke with Tyler, and I was frustrated. I was pissed off, and I said exactly what I thought. And is it the best thing to do? Probably not, right? But it also keeps it real, uncut, unedited, raw. And I think the vast majority of the viewers who watch my Pipe Doctor YouTube channel, where we keep it kind of family friendly, and this channel, the Uncensored channel, where I just keep it like uncut, unedited, raw, uncensored, right? That you guys realize that they're not a perfect company, and shit happens. You know, what can I say? Shit happens. But there's something that I think a lot of homeowners and even contractors don't realize. This isn't just an ACiQ problem. This is a freight problem. There was a time when you placed an order for equipment, it showed up in 2 or 3 days. Today, last month, it's not unusual to see freight taken a week or more. And transit times have become far less predictable. And this is just across the trucking industry. The capacity is tighter, legal, regulatory pressures have increased, and delivery schedules simply aren't as reliable as they used to be. They aren't. Let me give you guys a real world example of what I'm talking about, right? And this has nothing to do with ACiQ. Nothing to do with it. Just making sure it's not there anymore. It's been sitting on the floor for a couple days. At the end of May, one of our existing clients called because their Jandy JXiQ pool heater we installed back in July 2025, well, it wasn't heating the pool. Now, we normally get these JXI service calls for Jandy pool heaters. It's the usual check ignition steps. CHKINGSTEPS. Check ignition steps, right? It's a pretty common issue. But this one was different. This one was throwing off an error code of gas pressure switch, and air pressure switch. So I know on the JXiQs, there's actually there's like a water pressure switch. There's a gas pressure switch hooked up to the gas valve on the inlet side of the gas valve, which senses the gas pressure, and it turns off the heater if there's no gas pressure. Why it needs to do that? Who the fuck knows? You take a good product with the exception of check ignition steps and cracked heat exchangers all the time, and you further complicate it. What? So it's intelligent. It measures the gas pressure. What is it going to do? Is it going to regulate the modulating gas valve? I don't think so. Right? So we scheduled a service call for this customer the very next day. We get there. We start diagnosing it, and I could see I have 6.5 inches of water column coming into the heater, the gas valve, the inlet side of the gas valve. But the little thing on the gas pressure switch, that like a water pressure switch, is not, the little nipple isn't coming up, right? So we see that, and we see that the combustion blower, you know, the blower that sucks the gas in through the heat exchange, through the gas valve burners and out, right? That wasn't getting any power, right? So I called Jandy Tech Support. We confirmed the diagnosis. You know, you need a new gas pressure switch, and then need a new control board. A control board, which looks like one of those Emerson White Rogers joints that you see in gas furnaces, right? As a universal replacement part. That's defective, and it's going to be replaced under warranty. About 2 weeks later, lo and behold, the parts show up and arrive, and we head back out there. Only this time, we find water all around the base of the heater. Now, that's never a good sign with pool heaters. I've replaced 2 of my Jandy JXiQ 400 pool heaters over the last 8 years, right? Their heat exchangers are a very sore point with them. They know it. They blame it on water quality half the time. The other half the time is just defective pool heater heat exchangers. What can I say? And that's my mileage. Your mileage may vary. Okay, this is what I'm saying right now is my opinion and my opinion only, and your thoughts may be different. So now I take video of this. I post it on the Pipe Doctor YouTube channel. Hey, look, here's another Jandy JXiQ heat exchanger failure. Right, water's actually spewing out now at this point of the combustion blower assembly. Right, and with that gas pressure switch, there's water popping out of there as well, and there's water now in that gas pressure switch because I just took it out to sea, and it was sure enough. There's water inside of it. So we call up my local rep at Jandy. We put a warranty claim in on the Jandy dealer portal, and to Jandy's credit, you know, it was a week before they actually got approved, right? And they shipped out this brand new JXi 260 or 250 ACiQ heater on June 26th. Today is June 17th. It was installed yesterday, today's June 17th. It was installed yesterday as a direct replacement by James on July. I said July. I'm looking at my phone. It says July 17th. Yesterday, July 17th, the pool heater was replaced, right? But now here's the part I want you to pay attention to. The replacement heater weighs 255 pounds. Hold on. I love it when a client drives by and says, my wife is no longer hot, she's cold. As I was saying, so this replacement heater weighs about 255 pounds, ships by freight, and it wasn't installed until yesterday, July 16th. All right. Not because we were too busy, which we are, though. We can get it done. You know, I can squeeze that in. It's a couple-hour job, right? You know, 3 hours with travel time. You know, an hour and change on site, back and forth travel, blah 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 blah. There it is, by the way. Look at it right there. There it is. JXiQ. Thought it was bullshit, didn't you? Didn't you? All right. But the reason why is because it took. Damn, I even have an AMI espresso yet. Look at this. It's too hot when it comes out of this Jura machine. I'm too lazy to adjust the temperature settings on it, so it's a little bit cooler when it comes out. But what I'm trying to say is that it took more than 2 weeks for that freight carrier to move a pallet from California, Carlsbad, California, to Woodmere, New York. 2 fucking weeks. Now, that's the reality contractors across America are dealing with right now. When homeowners ask, why is this taking so long? How many times is the equipment going to be stuck on a truck, or at least where it should be in my warehouse on the side of their home? The problem is getting something from point A to point B. And I already know the woke Democratic portion of my audience is saying, blame it on Trump. Okay, blame it on Trump. So you want to have illegal immigrants. They're not undocumented workers, right? If you're in this country here, you know, illegally, you're a criminal, okay? And you're an illegal immigrant, okay? And if you are going to somehow get a commercial driver's license, a CDL, and then work for a freight company, can't even fucking read our signs, that's a problem. And that's a problem with your way of thinking, that because you let the last administration have free reign and open borders. Facts. Right? But don't blame it on the current. Don't blame it on the current administration, who wants to make sure that all Americans are safe, and those who are visiting, tourists and things like that. Come here legally. You know, a very good friend of mine. You've heard the story many, many times. Leon, call him Brown Boy. I don't care what you think. That's what I call him. Right? From Guyana. His mother, and his father, escaped the bad environment that they were living in Guyana. And he moved here to America legally when he was 16. I remember till this day, vividly, when he took his naturalization test and got sworn in as an American citizen. And he is the biggest fan for legal migration, right? And so am I. Come here legally. There's a process in place, right? If you don't like that process and want to come here illegally, well, expect to get deported and get your ass thrown out of my country, okay? I am a taxpayer. I pay a lot of fucking taxes, right? And I'm reminded about it every single freaking Thursday when I pay a very large chunk of payroll taxes, okay? So when you hear me talk about shipping delays, understand that this is not just an HVAC problem. This is not an ACiQ problem. I saw a video, and it's crazy. I saw a video of the ACiQ warehouse in Vandalia, where I was a few weeks ago, and hundreds and hundreds of wrapped pallets are staged, ready to go, just waiting for trucking companies to pick them up, right? It's a problem. It's affecting the HVAC industry, the plumbing industry, pool equipment. I have a friend of mine who's in the appliance industry, his industry, building materials. It's affecting just about every contractor who depends on freight to keep their customers happy. And not just contractors. It's everyone else. Right? When's the last time you ordered something on Amazon Prime and it's supposed to be the next day and it came a day later? And that's Amazon. Right? And you see those Amazon trucks everywhere. Right? It's affecting us all. And at the end of the day, if we don't get paid to make excuses. It's like on Tuesday when I installed one of two. Yep. One every day, like clockwork, every day. What was I gonna say? Oh, just like on Tuesday when I could only install one of two 3-ton systems for this homeowner who's electrifying his home. Well, guess what? Now, this coming Monday, today's Friday, we're going to be taking care of that customer. And I gave him a year worth of the worry-free Mikey pipes warranty and maintenance plan, right? Because we get paid to solve problems. We don't get paid to make excuses. But sometimes the biggest problem isn't the equipment manufacturer, it's the supply chain problem between the manufacturer and the contractor. So effective today, and I am pleased to make this announcement, right? If you're an ACiQ dealer, whether or not you became a dealer under me or not, right? You should place an order to stock up. I'm going to tell you what I did. I placed a fairly large order with ACiQ. Your mileage may vary, so just hear me out for a second. I'm going to what we call floor plan it. I am going to rent a secure storage facility, literally about half a mile away from our location here at 1010 Central Avenue. And I placed an order for 3 of what I install, the Extreme Plus systems. Okay, 3 of them. And I was given very lucrative payment arrangements to pay him for the equipment. This stuff here is all on the floor. It's all sold. The stuff that's up there, it's already taken as well. I don't have a large enough warehouse to accommodate everything, so that's why we're making that decision. What's going on? You good?
Yeah. Fantastic.
How was the Jandy?
It was full to the brim. Because remember how yesterday you were telling me, you're like, oh, it's pretty light, you can just pick it up, move it out of the way. Like, this thing's so heavy, so I have a video. I literally tilted it forward and just brown water gushing out of it. Yeah,
like probably 10, 15 gallons of water.
Yeah, and the electrical leads completely corroded. Yeah, I cleaned them off, recut them, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thanks.
Yeah, another Jandy JXiQ heat exchanger failure.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing, folks. And you're not gonna have to worry about things coming in a couple days anymore, because you're gonna have inventory available if you can do that. I did the math, logistics. I can get a very nice size, secure storage locker on a monthly basis for about $150 a month. I think it was 15 by 25, if I'm not mistaken. We're gonna have a boatload of equipment ready to go and ready to be installed, and the only problem will be scheduling, and I don't have to hear that problem anymore. Now, some of you may not be able to stomach $150, but when you place that large order with ACiQ, you're gonna get a little favorable bonus there, and that $150, if you go that route, it's gonna be a drop in the bucket. Because as Kevin Brock, the owner of ACiQ, promised me, and promised everyone in attendance at AHR Vegas 2026 at dinner. It's a great dinner, by the way. Damn, they know how to party, by the way. And next year, AHR 2027. Not trying to incentivize you to become a dealer and be one of the top, dealers of the ACiQ dealer network, but this AHR's dinner in Chicago, they rented out a sports venue, and I'm not going to tell you which one, right? And we're going to have a behind-the-scenes tour of this sports venue and taking a look at the mechanical system, so it's going to be pretty cool. So if you're not already an ACiQ dealer and you're buying and you're spending money to become a dealer at Carrier or Lennox, or you're installing cheap builder's grade equipment, you're going to want to go to aciq.com/Mikey Pipes right now and make some moves. And maybe if you're nice, you'll get the invite as well. We'll see you at AHR Chicago 2027. And by the way, do you know there's a Four Seasons in Chicago? And if you book now, it's only $299 a night. If you're an AHR exhibitor or attendee, you're going to AHR, right? And you're going to check me out at the ACiQ booth, right? What are you waiting for? Happy Friday. I love you Fridays. And if you see the happiness on my face right now, instead of, Monday and Tuesday, there's a reason why there wasn't an Uncensored video one day this week, right? It was that graphic, I couldn't even post it. And that says a lot, because I don't really hold anything back. Have a great weekend. Hug your kids.